Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We're talking all things transformation and reversing aging and all kinds of things. And what better to do than do a time cleanse. I can't talk this one. So I think it's really important because in today's world, we all are bombarded by so much information, so much social media, everything. Our time is getting just taken. We're just ransacked by the world out there. So Steven Griffith is here. He's an expert. He's worked with many CEOs, pro athletes, all types of celebrities, helping us get clear on doing this. Help us out. How are you?
Oh, I'm great, and I'm so excited to talk about time because it is the number one thing that people want more of. I mean, we're so busy today, distracted, multitasking our life, and we're missing out on the good stuff. So the time cleanse is about taking control of your time, but also Transformation Tuesday, transforming your relationship with it because it's our most important one.
Totally.
I find it so interesting because the one thing I have in common with Steve Jobs is the same amount of time, right?
Yes.
Any of us, if we reflect our lives to some of the most successful entrepreneurs or celebrities, we all have the same amount of time, but they're using it so much more efficiently. So where can we start? How can we start to transform our relationship at this time?
Well, you're absolutely right again. So in the book, I introduced a phrase called timefulness. So we all know what mindfulness, being present in the moment, but timefulness is being present and mindful with time. So present, aware, and intentional with our time. And when we do that, we start changing our relationship with time. We focus on a positive one, and we can increase the quality, the experience, and the performance with time. The old theories of managing time, our lives are happening so fast, you cannot manage time. You cannot manage time.
Thank you for telling me that, because I thought I was just like, if I can't do it, I'm just going to stop
No,
trying.
you can't.
So where does a person start if they want to sort of dive into this timefulness piece? They want to become more efficient, effective, productive, profitable in their lives. How do they break this timefulness thing down into practical steps?
Yeah, great question. So the first thing is getting committed to what you want. The cleanse starts with, what do we really want in our life? We can't have it all, but you can have what matters most. So let's look at, get present with, okay, what do I want? So we start with making a commitment, and it can be one for business, one for your personal life. So if you want to grow your business or get your side hustle going, or lose 10 pounds, or be more connected and have more time with your family, we start with that. So we start with that, and then we do a full inventory of our entire life, where we're spending our time. So what we're doing and how much. And then we ask the magic question. It's my Marie Kondo question, and it's this: is it contributing or contaminating to my happiness and success? So we evaluate each one of them. And we have different categories, how we're using our technology, the people in our life can be toxic, the things we're doing, and then from that we make a decision. And it's a really simple decision. Do we want to accept the toxin? That's okay, we might not be ready to use it, or do we want to change it? So maybe we're on Facebook 3 hours a day. We love Facebook, but maybe an hour is better. So we change it, and right there we can get 4, 5, 6 hours back a week.
I love this because I think that whether, we're talking about age and whatever, and who cares if you live to be 100 if you don't have quality 100 years?
Absolutely.
I mean, the time and what you spend and the quality of what you do, the moment, the precious moments that we have are so imperative. And I know for me personally, like my time's going, I'm like, where did that week go? And did I really do,
Exactly.
It's so important. I love what we do, but at the same time, like losing the quality of time with our dear friends. I find myself doing that.
You're right, and what you said, Rob, so I always think about, we have a beginning date, and we're gonna have an end date, and that dash is our life. And that dash, it's what we're in our time for. And for me, the bigger message for the book is this: time is to create memories that matter, that become our legacy. That's what it's for.
So what do you want your legacy to be?
I want my legacy, that's a great question. I want my legacy to be that I made a difference. First of all, that I connected with my talents and gifts. And not just for me, but for the collective. And I made this place a better place where we can be more connected as human beings, we can have more passion and love, but really that we can be present and to see each other, to who we really are, and to honor our differences and our similarities, but that I left the dash with my gas tank empty. And I'm like you, I don't want to live forever. The fact that we actually are going to die, people don't think about this, means we got something to do here. Imagine if we didn't have a date, we just like tomorrow. And that's what a lot of people are doing also. They're thinking, oh, I got tomorrow. Tomorrow might not come.
So what would you do more of if you had more time?
Well, I'm actually doing it. I would
Good,
just
you're
keep
practicing what you preach
I would just
today.
keep. So here's the beauty of it is when you actually take the time and get connected to yourself and ask the question, am I still using time the way I should be? I mean, we shouldn't be living our life when we did when we were 18, right? No one, I mean, if we lived our life when we were 18, there would probably be a lot of beer cans in my house right now. But I mean, just, it changes, So we got to change with time.
I love this conversation because I think so much of it, as you've so eloquently described, is really about changing the measuring stick for our lives. And instead of it just being about getting things done, it's about getting the right things done in a way that's efficient and effective. And I often think about that as sort of lazy intelligence, but I like the word timefulness even better. You know, for those folks that might be saying, hey, listen, I've got so much on my list still that I feel like does contribute to this end goal of happiness or success, and I don't know what to do with it. How do I get that off my plate, or how do I, you know, make a better or create a better relationship with time so that I can be more efficient and effective with those things? What would you say?
Well, here's the one thing, and you know, I love your show and the transformation, but first thing I tell people to do is go on a diet and stop using the excuse of time. So we start with just saying, where am I? Because time is the biggest excuse for not doing, being, or having in our life. And when we get in control of it, say, well, time comes from us. I often hear this, if my schedule allows, if time allows, and this is the same question I asked, who's time? When we say that, who is time? We are time. So let's own it, first of all, own it, invite that positive timefulness relationship with it, and then protect it, protect it, protect it, protect it.
So true. I mean, we'll do what we really care. What we really want to do, we'll
Absolutely,
get done. Like
Dr.
that's
Ryan.
the reality for sure.
Yes, yes.
And if, yeah, but so the time cleanse. So people, they come together. They basically. I mean, we have the old kind of metaphor of having the big glass jar with the big rocks we
Right.
put in first. If we have all this like to do and we put the little rocks in first, we never fit the most important thing, the big rocks. So you walk them through this. Is that what the book does?
Absolutely. So we shift our relationship with time in a timefulness way. We get rid of the toxins. And then in that place there, we reclaim the time for what's most important to us, and then we invest it. So the last part of the book is about performing with your time. So once we got it, what do we do with it? And as you said, the big thing. So I always say pick 3 focus things for the day, and the rest will fit underneath it, but we're getting distracted and hijacked. And one of the biggest hijacker is this. I love my phone. I mean, this changed my life, when this came out. And these phones have not been out that long. So one of the biggest hijackers of time is our technology. When I go through the time cleanse with people, the first category is technology. So write down what tech you're using and how much. People are shocked when they evaluate actually how much time they're on.
It's amazing.
They don't. We get hypnotized. So here's my time cleanse for the phone. All right.
Okay.
So here's what you do. First thing, if you see my phone, it's grayscaled. I've
I
turned
don't
my
even
phone.
know that was possible.
Most people don't. So the reason we go from color to black and white is it's less charming. It's less charming, okay? Secondly, you see there's no apps on the first screen here. So if we go here, you'll see my apps are
So you're
there.
not app primed.
Oh no, yeah. So, and then lastly, you have to shut off the notifications. I know people are cringing right now. They're like, what? That's my lifeline. But when we do these 3 things, here's what happens. We become in charge of our phone. Our phone is no longer in charge of us. And so I've been taking photos and doing videos for my book tour, and I turned my phone on to color, and it'd been off for a while. And I literally was like this. What is that?
So how do you make the first screen? No,
So
no
you
apps.
just all you do is just move the apps. So you
Slide
can
them over.
you just slide them over.
Oh, I see you do. Okay,
I love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's even better than with some of my clients. I have them hide their apps in a folder,
Right.
So they can't see them right away.
Right.
But that's even better because
Oh,
you can't see the
yeah.
folder.
I
You know,
love
one piece of research in the book, this shocked me. They monitored 100 people to see what their interaction with the phone was. So the average of the person touching, swiping, clicking, feeling the phone was 2,600 times in a day.
Oh my gosh.
4
incredible.
hours. 4 hours. So
A day.
that one tip can save hundreds of hours, but most importantly, keep us in a performance state, because we've all been there where we're doing great, we're in a groove, all of a sudden, ding, oh, what? texting, phone call, and
But
we're
what
off.
if that ding, text, phone call was the next opportunity that could get them that much further? I mean, let me play devil's advocate
Please
for a second,
do.
because if I miss a notification or an email, I might miss an opportunity. I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels that way.
Yes.
That could provide for, you know, a promotion or something that I'm looking for, a relationship, whatever it might be. I want to be notified.
Just, I have a solution for you. You set an awareness chime on your phone. So people that need to be more in contact with that, set it for every 15 or 20, 30 minutes where you're getting a chime. You go and you look at what those notifications are. Because we all can wait 15, 20 minutes. We all can wait that amount of time. And if you do feel like, wow, I just do need to be notified, just that would be one thing that you don't cleanse, but you cleanse the other things.
So when did you become a master of your own time? I mean, was there a moment for you in your life where you said, all right, I've got to become timeful?
Well, there was, but
Timeful.
Robin, we were talking before, you know, I love this. You're awesome. You're Michigan sneaky. So I was talking with Rob, you know, I had a boxing coach early on in my life. His name was Tom Delaney. He's no longer with us, but he was the biggest influence and mentor I made. But I remember when I first started boxing, and I was so not present. I mean, I'm like, oh, I want to get in there and spar. And he pulled me over. He was an Irish Greyhound bus driver, beer belly, blue eyes. When I met him, it was interesting. He had this scent of sweat and Old Spice cologne. I'll never forget it. So he pulled me to the side. He said, Steven, you know what? You got some really good talent. But here's the deal, buddy. You're not present. You are so focused on getting things completed that you're not learning. Slow down. Be present. You're going to learn faster. And he was exactly right. And you know, he took me to 2 Golden Glove finals. I won the state championship in Illinois heavyweight in a short amount of time. But he was a master of time. And so early on, I learned it, but it wasn't until about 4 or 5 years ago when every client engagement had the same roadblock. Corporate clients, individual clients, and they said this, I don't have enough time. And I was like, out of nowhere. Then I started looking at my life, and I'm thinking, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
And that put me on the journey to start doing the research and creating the cleanse.
I love that. You know, that's one of the things I was never a boxer like you, but I was always interested in sports, and I have some friends and clients that are athletes, and the one thing that lots of them have shared is that they often are so much more efficient and effective when they slow down, especially when they're feeling the need to rush.
Yes.
Right? And so a huge part of presence, I think, in the beginning is just simply slowing down.
Absolutely.
Right?
For sure.
Absolutely.
You know, meditation's been a huge thing for me with time, because there's so much to do, and you get in, you meditate, and it's like all of a sudden things that you thought mattered just don't matter anymore. And the things that really matter come forth, and you're like, okay, that's that 10-time relationship, and I definitely need to connect with this person. But from a spiritual perspective, there's no such thing as time or space. It's really just a measurement.
Yes.
It's a measurement
Yep.
of our cause and effect. So we can see, I move this. There's a time, space, spectrum, and this. And so I just look at it like it's a fun game. But I do think that right now we're challenged more than ever. So I think it's really important to manage it. And I'm sure this is going to be a huge benefit for so many people, because a lot of people don't even know where to begin. They're just overwhelmed, period.
Right, and we want time for what matters most. Like we said to begin with, like getting the time back, 1 hour a day, just 1 hour a day can change our lives from a struggle to enjoyment and prosperity. And that's, you know, being with our kids, reading. I mean, so many people tell me, gosh, I wish I had time to read. We do have time. It's an illusion that we don't, but we have to claim it, own it, and realize it's here for us as an ally.
So if you say you don't have time to read, you might want to read this book.
Yes.
So you know.
He applies all the principles in writing the
So
book.
tell people where they can find the book.
StevenGriffith.com. It's on Amazon. It's going to be in bookstores later this week, and we guarantee you one thing: at least 10 hours back. Most people get 20 hours or more.
Wow.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
I love it. Well worth the time to read it.
Thank you so much. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Back
Joe.
tomorrow. Good morning, La La Land.